Hello, this is Victor, RestoreMercedes.com. Today we're going to look at this vehicle here. It's a 1992 500 SEL. Car has about 85,000 miles, 84,000 miles or so. Needs a little detail here and there, but other than that, it's a really good example. Clean on the outside and also very clean on the inside. But it has lots of issues. And I'm just gonna make this video as a record of what needs to be done. All right, because there are lots of things. Now the car sat somewhere for a long time, many years. You can tell probably was covered up, but still set outdoors, it appears to be, or maybe in some garage that was not heated. The first thing here is major concern was the ASR light would keep coming on and off, and of course you will think the throttle body is the cause, because you know it's a usual case, but this is a 92 model. The throttle body has large connector here, and its production date is 1991. All right, if you look closely here, let's see if we can focus. Yep, 1991 production year and month of November 1991. So now, because of that, throttle body wires most likely are okay. I would say 95% chance that they're fine. They don't go bad as all the others. And I do have an issue with the linkage right over there, because this thing right here is all zip tied. That's to be corrected. There is a rod further down that is loose. The engine is very hot, so I don't really want to get to burn myself. And obviously the engine harness is bad. You can clearly see it here. If I move these wires slightly, you can see insulation is crumbling. So that is obviously to be done. If the upper harness is bad, then the lower harness is most likely in the same condition, so it's pretty much bad. Engine mounts are low. Engine mounts are further down there. See if I can zoom onto those. Right over there. Clearly see the mount is low, although rubber is still holding. So hydraulics blown, but rubber is still holding on, so it can live for a while before other things are sorted. Oil leaks here, seepage, sweating, and that is obviously not the end of the world, but it's just there. So we know that. We note that the belt tensioner pulley is loud and noisy. At first I thought it's an AC compressor, but it turned out to be belt tensioner pulley. This is the first generation rubber tensioner, right? So it's tensed by rubber, so if you touch it, most likely rubber will not tighten up anymore, so might as well just replace it completely. Now we have our fan clutch, which is non-active at all, so this one is not engaging. By the size of it, looking at the actual clutch, fan clutch, I can tell that this is an original piece, so that's to be replaced regardless. All right, so that is that. What else we have here? Well, engine mount, obviously. Belt seems to be replaced at some point of time. Air pump pulley bearing seems to be okay, does not make noises. Alternator is quiet as well. Power steering is quiet. AC compressor, I can't tell because the idler, you know, the tensioner pulley is so loud that I can't even listen to the AC compressor, because it's just that noise just transfers through the whole engine. It's just like super loud, so I cannot determine if it's the AC compressor or the actual I know it's the tensioner pulley, but I don't know the AC compressor, how good that bearing is, because this pulley makes so much noise that it's just like just covers all area with. It's just like, no, it just can't. First things first. That's to be done first. The tensioner, and then go for, and then we'll listen to the AC compressor. Now, in the engine bay here seems to be okay. Everything else seems to be on point. Couple of brackets, these clamps are missing. One here, one there, one on that side, and one on the other side. But it's gonna hold. It's gonna live. Some. That's that. Moving along. Electric fans work. Don't know about wipers. AC could use a refill or a complete, like, not overhaul, but evacuation and refill, because it works, but it's just it could have been cooler, much cooler. And it's like the temperature on the AC today is not too hot, and it's still not reaching freezing temperature. Wipers, they're off. They're like hitting, as you can see. It's like just touching the plastic, it's the trims. And this wiper is touching the other wiper, so when it's just like out. It's just totally off. That is that. All right, now suspension situation. We have crazy loud noise from ball joint, but the front suspension is completely to be replaced. The reason I say so, it's just because it's been sitting for like forever, and there was so much rust developing, and I can't even make the video of it. My gimbal doesn't let me. Let me try to remove the phone from my gimbal, and then try to remove the phone from the gimbal, and then I can probably show it to you while the phone is off the gimbal. Let's see. This way and flip. All right, now let's take a look at the suspension down here. As you can see, rust, I sprayed it. Sway bar link is totally detached, disconnected, broken off. Ball joint, I tried to spray, nothing, no results. So spring is cracked on the bottom coil, and yeah, so control arm is rusty, so that's to be replaced complete. On the other side, let's take a look on this side. I didn't even bother to look on this side, but I'm sure it's in the same state. As you can see, it is. Somebody tried to spray some lubrication on them, all over the suspension, but I don't know. It's just not the way to fix things. All right, so that's that. Rear suspension shocks seem to be fine, actually. The struts, they seem to be fine. Yes, of course, we have some rust as we had up front, but shocks seem to be okay. They're not making any noises, but accumulators are totally blown. The car jumps around, hops around. It's just crazy. So they're to be done 100%, and it's like it's extremely annoying the way the car drives. Put this phone back on the gimbal to make the video a little more smoother. All right, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. I don't want to take, okay, ooh, transformer. All right, there goes. All right, yeah, I don't want to make a few takes. I just want to make one video, and that's it. Now, moving along. Exhaust seems to be fine. Transmission shifts great. Reverse is not delayed, so I have no problems. But driving this car with suspension being stiff in the rear and noise up front and sway bar links, so it's like hitting everything that it touches. It's like clanging around. No, it's not Mercedes feel at all. Just no way. So over here we have chrome trim missing. The backup aid antenna is loose. That is to be corrected. Rear headrests, they do activate with the switch from rear doors. If I hit the switch, they actually, well, ignition is off now, so they won't do, but they do work. That's amazing, because usually rear headrests are always bad. Something's wrong with them. That is that. The front switch does not react. If you hit it from the center console, hit that switch, not happening. It's all just like non-reacted switch. It's just like not reacting. No up, neither up or down, nothing. Ashtrays here loose. I don't know what's going on here, but I know this ashtray is not lined up for sure. The other ashtray on the other side, that one, the panel itself is very, very loose. And these ashtrays are from V12 model. Somebody put them in. I guess they ripped the old ones out, and therefore now ashtray does not grab onto the panel. So panel has to be removed and ashtray reinforced behind one way or the other somehow. I'm not gonna even bother with this because panel has to come out. I haven't checked the rear windows yet, so I'm gonna check it in a minute. Well, if the panel to be replaced, most likely regulators for rear windows to be replaced also, because they're weak on these cars. These regulators fail all the time. Going inside the vehicle, like I mentioned earlier, the interior is really clean. Somebody also put some V12 wood panels here. Actually, not all V12s had it, actually, believe it or not, but I mean, you know, some aftermarket ones, I guess. Now, rear view mirror, very important, still holding on, although there's a little bit of cracking going on, but it's still holding on all right. That's good. Adjustments work, seats work, seat belts work. The pocket here is stuck in open position, the locks don't work, and it's all crooked, so that is to be dealt with. And it's like, as you can see, it just can come right out probably, but I don't want to force it. I want to use both of my hands when I want to like check it out, but it's obviously to be repaired. Very annoying to have open pocket. Like I said, the switch here, okay, oh, look at that. One headrest went up, the other one got, it did nothing actually, the other one didn't do anything. Push the switch one more time. Yeah, okay, well, whatever, you don't want to use them, they fail. Bad news. All right, so whatever, that's not important, it's not critical. The dashboard lights work except for the brake light. Brake bulb is removed because the e-brake, parking brake down under, there's something wrong with it. It does not return. So the pedal does not return, that pedal. And therefore, the switch was probably lit, so somebody just removed the bulb and left that e-brake cable as loose as it is right now. That's that. The switch is on the console here. This one is pushed in, this one is loose. Automatic up and down on Windows does not work. I tried to sync it. I tried to sync Windows and nothing. It's just like, I cannot resync. They just, whoa. Well, that one jumps violently, the rear glass. You see that? That's not normal. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna use those windows, all right. That's because regulators most likely are on their last leg. Now, AC climate control works, directionals work. That's good. Radio shows weight. That means it's locked out. When I put the radio on, I hear the popping from the amplifiers. I mean, from speakers. That means the amplifier is bad. So you hear that pop, like that shouldn't be popping. Rear, the aerial antenna, radio antenna extends and retracts. That's great. And the shifter itself is tight. So I have a feeling that down under the vehicle where you have the shifter linkage, it might be that linkage is wrapped around the sound deadening material that usually falls off transmission tunnel. If that's not the case, then it's got to be inside this assembly here, and that is that. I mean, I don't know, it's just to be, like I said, I'm just stating facts, what needs to be done, and then make a list of what needs to be done, what is important, what's not important, and that's just for myself to remember all these things, and I'll move on to another car, basically, you know. This one is basically all. Door locks work, soft close works, trunk soft close has slight leak, by the way. Just show you that. If you heard that leak, let me just show it to you. All right, so let's just activate soft close on the trunk and we'll listen for hissing sounds. It's actually not the trunk soft close, it's the handle. All right, let's go for it. You heard that hiss, so that most likely is the actual handle. Maybe connections in there, whatever, they still work. So the soft close still works, handle still works, so that's good. Some spare parts laying around in the trunk. It is what it is. Not my parts. Just came with the vehicle. Springs can actually use a little tightening because, as you can hear, how trunk slaps down, and that is a little too violent. Yeah, that's that. I mean, you know, sunroof I did not check. I don't really mess with sunroofs. If they get stuck, that is also not nice. So for that reason, I'm not gonna even bother with the sunroof. Other than that, well, it is enough, really. Oh yeah, the chrome trim piece here, chrome and what's this material? I forgot. Titanium, I think it is, something like that. Chrome and titanium, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it is. So this was moved out, pushed out. It just like happens on these cars. As you can see, it just damages the rubber. So this one I managed to push down as much as I could, down to the level where it should be. But on the other side, I mean, as far as it went, basically. But on the other side, if you look here closely, you see how much of the gap there is between the actual mirror and the trim piece end. And of course here, what do we have? We have the trim piece touching the trim from on the other door. I mean, you know, it's like it's actually cutting into it. So that's not nice. So I'm gonna have to do something with this. I'll try to push it down the same way I did on the other side. Oh boy, that's a long one. It's a long video. Oh yeah, windows operation in terms of fold in, fold out. Let's just push the button. Let's see what happens with fold in. Okay, yeah, both mirrors fold in and out. Center mirror also works. Odometer works. That's a good thing because gears seem to be still fine. Headlight switch to be replaced. Way too soft. Not good. There is no fixation. You know, it's just like doesn't fixate. Just barely fixates. Backwards, you do not even want to try it because it just can crumble and break. That's about it. So yeah, like I said, car could use some good detail. It'll be nice and clean. But other than that, it is actually a good machine. Miles are low. Needs to be worked on really quite a lot, but it is what it is. At least it appears to be all original. Oh yeah, when car came, there was a cut on the tire and it was flat basically. It's just, I put the plug in there for now just so I can have tire to stay inflated. Brakes appears to be brand new actually, as a matter of fact. Oh yeah, brand new brakes, brand new pads up front at least. So yeah, I put that plug in. The rears, and not so much. Let's try to see the rears. Yeah, the rears not so much, but they were replaced at some point of time actually, but they just like never worked. Pads are pretty good actually, the pads. I'm sorry my phone can't focus onto those details, but rust is there. and you know, it might burn through. I mean, it might cut through, and it should still work, but nonetheless, that's the condition on the rear brakes. All right, so I'm gonna cut it quits because the video has been recording for quite a long time, just overviewing the vehicle. Already exhausted me because it's very, very humid today. And basically that's about all about this vehicle. All right, so Victor here, RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.